Good evening, Team Schrader 2020, and welcome to our discussion tonight about Let's Talk Attitude. As many of you know, we're been in a series of Let's Crush COVID-19 Together that we started last week so that we can really focus on becoming healthier and more balanced as we undergo all the restrictions and changes and chaos that COVID-19 2020 has put on our lives and on our families and just on everything that we know. Um, Many of you are sending me notes of encouragement saying, I'm just so glad that someone is bringing us together as a community to talk about this and join in this battle to make sure that we defeat and crush COVID-19 together. There have been more questions about, well, why are you doing this? Judges aren't supposed to do this. Well, yeah, sort of we are. Our job as judges is not just to resolve conflicts in our courtroom, but to create strategies to make sure that people don't come back to the courtroom and to reduce recidivism, to keep people healthy, to try to create a strategy for families that might be broken or in conflict so that that conflict's reduced for the sake of those parties as well as the children. Um, and I'll share with you a little bit of um, how I came to have these strategies. Is practicing law for 25 years. I helped many families navigate through the change of divorce, separation, and custody issues without creating more acrimony between all of them. In fact, there is a strategy that parties can go through divorce and custody and navigate that journey and become a healthy divorced family unit. When children are involved, there's always going to be a family relationship. No matter how hard you fight it, how hard you try to break it, but there will always be a family relationship. And so one of the reasons I think that these type of discussions with the community are important is because everyone's concerned about their economics, everyone's concerned about their safety and health, everyone's concerned about their security, everyone's concerned about everything right now. But with the right attitude, you can navigate through COVID-19 and be healthy, be at peace, be calm, be full of hope. So tonight we're going to discuss attitude a little bit and how and why it's so important to have a positive attitude, to have a good attitude, and have a hopeful attitude. So we'll start first with what is attitude. I found some great articles that I'll post in the comments later about the definition of attitude, what it is, why you have the power to determine your attitude, and why that's so important because your attitude determines your progress. It determines your success. I heard a message this weekend over the Easter weekend. There were so many wonderful messages, despite the weather, despite the separation. There were so many wonderful messages all over the media channels. But one message was, your outlook determines your outcome. And isn't that what we want right now? We want a positive outcome for COVID-19, for the struggles that we're in right now, um, uh, for anyone that may be struggling with substances or mental health as a result of this added pressure and stress. We want positive outcomes. So, in order to have a positive outcome, we need to have a positive outlook. And outlook is a synonym for attitude. And so that's why your attitude is so, so important. Well, before we get started tonight, I wanted to share with you a couple of slides and just to put things into perspective. The first is this graphic that we used last week about let's crush COVID-19 together. As you can see, different areas of your life have different uh, circles and sizes. And you see in this one, it is a great big old circle of COVID-19. Because right now, if you're not careful, COVID-19 is absorbing all of your energy. And when something positive or negative absorbs all your energy, then all the other important circles in your life get reduced. In this graphic, COVID-19 is a concern. Employment is a concern. For many, this situation is a crisis of faith. How could God let something like this happen? And so in this particular graphic, you can see that the different circles are different sizes. So what we want to try to do is make sure that all of our circles are in equal sizes and that we're balanced. So part of the reason that we're having these kind of discussions is to make sure that that happens. So a lot of people are concerned about attitude and concerned about what's happening in our community. So they're starting to post different things and starting to have a lot of positive things put out on the internet to make sure that people are staying motivated, people are staying focused. So let's talk about the difference between a positive attitude and a negative attitude. You know these people. You may be one of these people, but you don't have to be negative. For example, a negative person may see something happening and have the woe is me, this will never work. I can't believe this is happening, and basically be a negative Nelly or have the constant pity party. Now, being upset for a minute is completely healthy. Staying in that state of negativity is not healthy. Compared to a positive person who sees a challenge and says, well, let's figure out how to make this work. Let's overcome this challenge. Let's go around this challenge. Let's move this challenge. Let's do this challenge. And the difference between those two people are how quickly they move ahead, how much more fun there are to be around, how much more peace they have, how much calmer they are, and just how much structure that there is. So a couple of strategies that I came across in these articles about how to maintain and build a good attitude. Build being a key word. Excuse me. Building a good attitude is just like anything else that you have to build. Building fitness. You don't walk into a gym and be automatically in shape. You don't decide that you want to learn a new sport and become an expert. Well, building a positive attitude is the same thing. You have to be intentional about it. You have to pay attention to it. You have to monitor it, and you have to feed it. So let's talk about a few strategies so that we can start maintaining a positive attitude and then receiving the positive outcomes that we all desire as a result of anything positive that we do. First of all, remember that you control how you react to any situation. I posted a visual earlier on the on my Facebook page about what you can control in this particular situation. We can't control how other people are living their lives, or whether they're being reckless with their health, or whether they're violating the executive orders. But we can control what we're doing to stay healthy and to protect ourselves, to protect our family, and protect our community. So just remember that you control the way you react to every situation. Secondly, start your day strong. Don't get up in the morning grumpy, allowing yourself to be grumpy. Get up and decide that you're going to do something positive. You're going to go on a walk. You're going to exercise. You're going to do a devotion. You're going to spend time with your family. You're going to interact through social media and connect with other members of your family. Some way to stay positive. Third is exercise. Exercise is really so important for your overall health, not just your physical health, but for your mental and emotional health. So make sure that you're staying in a state of exercise, that you're moving, that you're not allowing yourself to get lazy and lethargic. Because when you are too lazy and you're too lethargic, that's when depression and negative chemicals really start absorbing your brain and body, and it gets harder to combat all the pressure and the stress and anxiety that you're feeling right now because of the COVID-19 situation. Also, um, make sure that you do take an opportunity to rest. Rest and recharging is very important. Not being lazy, but just resting, reading a good book, taking the day off, things like that. Find a way just to allow your body to rest, allow your mind to rest from everything, and throw in relaxation. That's really important as well. Fourth, make sure you're feeding your brain positive information. We talked about this last week, but garbage in, garbage out. If you're feeding your brain garbage and negativity, you will feel negative, you will speak negative, and you will act negatively. The same principle applies to positivity. Feed your brain positive information and you will act positively. Your family will want to be around you much more than when you're negative, and it will just really change the whole way that you're feeling and that you're thinking. Fifth, and this is really important, watch your words. Pay attention to the words that are coming out of your mouth. Do not speak doom and gloom all over everybody and the situation. Speak positive words. Practice it. Be intentional. Pay attention and be aware of the words that you're speaking, not only verbally, but also to yourself. Don't don't discourage yourself. Don't put yourself down. If you didn't get everything accomplished today that you wanted to get accomplished, it's okay. You can do it tomorrow. Keep yourself motivated and moving forward and looking forward. Sixth is connect with positive people. One of the psychologists quoted in the article that I'm going to share with you, Jim Rohn, who is also a corporate influencer, says that you are the average of 5 people you spend the most time with. So just think about that. Are you spending time with positive people? Are you spending time that with people who are looking forward and who are problem solvers and who are motivators and encouragers? If you're not, become one, because then you can influence the 5 people in your circle. And the more people that become positive, the more positive community that we're going to have. And we'll reap all of the consequences and benefits of being positive. So who are you allowing to influence you? The news media, the talking heads, or someone who's got a positive message? And seventh, be grateful. Make sure you're keeping your gratitude journal. Make sure you're keeping a journal throughout this whole process so that one day you can go back and look and see just how much you grew in such a negative, stressful time in our culture. You found a way to become more positive, to become stronger, and that you overcame intentionally overcame all of these negative circumstances in an environment that really, if people allow this to happen, it will crush them. We don't want to crush that. We don't want this situation to crush them. We want to crush this situation. And in order to do that, we need to be intentional. We need to make sure that we are practicing all of these positive strategies and all of the strategies to keep ourselves healthy every single day. So be grateful, and then also show appreciation. Show appreciation to your entire family. Thank your kids for helping with the chores. Thank your kids for keeping up with their homework. Thank your kids for having a good attitude about all of this, because as we talked last week, they've had some really stressful situations. Thank all of your support system that's been checking on you. Be an encourager. If you will if you will practice encouraging others, as you speak the words of encouragement, you are also encouraging yourself. So there's just so many wonderful benefits to practicing a good attitude and being an encourager. Also, stop negative thoughts in their tracks. It's easy to be negative, but with a positive attitude, you can stop that negativity in its tracks. It will not impact you physically or emotionally, and it won't let you become grumpy or negative. So if something starts to try to brood up in you that's really negative, that you're concerned about, that you're stressed about, and trust me, if anybody has a lot of stress and anxiety attacking them right now, it's me. You all know that I am running for reelection. You all know that I'm under indictment and we'll have a retrial of some criminal accusations against me in the very near future. You all know that I've been impacted by COVID-19 as well, but I have a positive attitude. I've created a strategy where I am attacking these negative influences in my life with positivity and with a strategy to stay strong and to stay encouraged. So trust me when I say all of these strategies will work if you start implementing them. But attitude is important, but you also have to implement all the strategies we talked about last week about keeping your body healthy, keeping your mind healthy, keeping your spirit healthy. So make sure that you're incorporating all of these strategies that we've talked about. And if you didn't catch some of the broadcasts last week, go back and take a look at some of those. But primarily, attitude is just as important as exercise. Your thoughts, your words will control your destiny. And so remember, we want a positive outcome in this situation. We want to come out of the COVID-19 situation much stronger, much healthier than when this started. If some of you are truthful, you didn't really like the job that you've been laid off from. You may not have liked where your situation was at the time. And if you really approach this with a good attitude, you can take this time to really start meditating, thinking about, and creating a strategy for exactly the kind of future that you want. But you have to be intentional, and you have to connect with other people who know how to make that happen for you. And there's plenty of leaders on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. There are lots of positive leaders. One of the most positive leaders who has influenced me is an author named John Gordon. He's got a powerful story of overcoming adversity. Now he speaks to leadership conferences all over the world about positive leadership and being positive and looking for the silver lining, looking for the opportunity in every challenge to grow healthier and to become stronger and to become more successful. So before we leave tonight, I want to try to share one more graphic with you from one of our favorite coaches. A loyal team member, Denise Fuller, sent this to me this morning, right when I was really even strategizing about today's message. So I'm going to share that with you, and then I'll come back and say good evening. So take a look at this. How about this? This quote from Pat Summit, who of course we've lost, and she's no longer with us. But you know, attitude is a choice. Think positive thoughts daily. Believe in yourself. So I'm going to leave that thought with you this evening as we sign off, and just want to encourage you to make sure that you are paying attention to what's going on in your world. Pay attention to what's going on in your life. Pay attention to what's going on in your mind. Pay attention to what's going on in your body. Eat healthy, think healthy, be healthy. And together, we can crush COVID-19. Together, we can have a positive attitude. Together, with a positive outlook, we can have a positive outcome. Good night, everybody, and thanks for coming.